They just said your name in the meeting. Someone praised your work, out loud, in front of everyone, and instead of pride, a cold little wave moved through your chest, because in that exact moment, one thought lit up brighter than all the rest. If they only knew, if they knew how much I don't actually understand, if they knew how much of this I'm making up as I go. You smiled and said thank you, and underneath the smile, a quiet voice whispered that you are one hard question away from being found out. And it doesn't matter how much proof you've collected against it. The degree, the promotion, the years of experience, the people who trust you, the results you can literally point to, none of it lands. The evidence goes in, and the feeling stays exactly the same. You still feel like you snuck in through a side door, like everyone else got a manual you never received, like any day now, someone is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "We made a mistake. This was never meant for you." So here is the first thing I need you to hear tonight. That feeling is not the truth about you. It is not evidence, it is not insight, and it is definitely not humility. What you are feeling is a specific, predictable glitch in the way your brain measures yourself, and it runs strongest in exactly the people who are least likely to be frauds. It feels like a private secret about how little you're worth. It is actually one of the most common experiences human beings have, and it has a real cause. And once you understand the machinery behind it, it finally starts to loosen its grip. Welcome in. I'm Sage. Let's get started. Let's start with the strangest part. Why doesn't the proof work? You have real evidence you're capable, and yet the feeling ignores all of it. To understand that, you have to know how your brain handles a mismatch. Inside you, there are two pictures. There's the outside picture, what you've actually done, the results, the praise. And there's the inside picture, how it feels to be you while you do it, the doubt, the effort, the messy not knowing. When those two pictures don't match, your brain does not calmly average them out. It picks one and believes it completely. And here's the cruel part. Your brain almost always trusts the inside picture, the feeling, over the outside facts. Because for most of human history, how you felt about a threat was more useful for survival than any external report. Your nervous system is built to believe the alarm over the paperwork. So when praise comes in, it hits a wall. Your amygdala, the brain's fire alarm, is already scanning for danger. And social exposure, being seen, being judged, being high up where you can fall, registers as danger. So the compliment doesn't get filed as proof I belong, it gets filed as proof I'm now more visible, which means more chances to be exposed. Meanwhile, there's a mental habit at work that psychologists find in almost everyone. We judge ourselves by our insides, and everyone else by their outsides. You see every ounce of your own uncertainty, every moment you Googled the thing you were supposed to already know. But you only see other people's polished surfaces, their confident voices, their finished work. So you're comparing your backstage to everyone else's opening night. And of course you come up short. It was a rigged measurement from the start. There's a chemistry to how it sticks too. Every time you get away with it, every time you succeed while feeling like a fraud, your brain doesn't update the belief. It does something worse. It credits the survival to the anxiety itself. It thinks, we only made it because we worried that hard, because we over-prepared, because we stayed scared. So the fear gets reinforced as the reason for the win, and the prefrontal cortex, the rational part that could say, no, you succeeded because you're good at this, never gets to file its report. The loop tightens. Success doesn't cure the imposter feeling, it feeds it. But here is the part that changes everything. This feeling didn't start in the boardroom or the classroom. It's an old story about worth, and for most people, it was written young. Look back for a moment. What got noticed in your home when you were small? For a lot of people who feel like frauds, love and approval came attached to achievement. You were praised for the A, the win, the performance, and the praise was for the outcome, not for you. So you learned, quietly, that you are only as valuable as your last success, that your worth is a rented apartment you have to keep paying for, and if you ever stop performing, you'll be evicted. Or maybe it was the opposite house, one where nothing you did was ever quite enough, where the goalposts always moved, and you learned that no achievement is real or safe. So why would this one be? Either way, a child in that world builds the same machine. Its job is to never, ever feel like enough. Because feeling like enough is when you get careless, and careless is when the love gets taken away. So it keeps you running, keeps you doubting, keeps you sure that the next test is the one that exposes you. Because as long as you're scared of being found out, you'll keep working hard enough to never actually be found out. The term for this came from two psychologists, Pauline Clance and Suzanne Imes, who in 1978 studied high-achieving women and named it the impostor phenomenon. And here's what should lift a weight off your chest. They found it wasn't the least capable people who felt this way. It was the most accomplished ones, the ones with the most reason to feel secure. Feeling like a fraud has almost nothing to do with whether you are one. It's a wound about worth, wearing a costume about competence. So how does that wound show up day to day? Let's break it down, one pattern at a time. Pattern 1. Crediting everything but yourself. When something goes well, you have 100 explanations ready, and none of them are you. It was luck. It was good timing. The bar was low. They were being nice. Someone helped. You are a brilliant lawyer for the case against yourself, and you will pin your success on anything. The weather, the market, a fluke, as long as you never have to say the dangerous words, "I did that because I'm good at this." It's a person standing in a house they built with their own hands, insisting it must have assembled itself. Pattern 2. The over-preparation tax. You don't just prepare, you over-prepare, to a degree nobody around you understands. You rehearse the simple call. You triple-check the work everyone already trusts. You can't send the email until it's perfect, because deep down you believe that the moment your effort dips even slightly, the mask will slip, and everyone will see. The exhaustion feels like conscientiousness, but it's really fear wearing a work ethic. It's someone building a fortress wall 10 feet thick to keep out an army that was never coming. Pattern 3. Deflecting the compliment. Praise comes in, and you physically can't let it land. You deflect it, you minimize it, you change the subject. Oh, it was nothing. Anyone could have. It feels like modesty, but watch what's actually happening. Taking in the compliment would mean updating the belief that you're a fraud, and that belief is load-bearing. So your mind bats the praise away to protect the very story that's hurting you. It's a person dying of thirst who keeps knocking the glass of water out of their own hand. Pattern 4. Waiting for the tap on the shoulder. Underneath all of it lives one specific dread, the fantasy of exposure. Somewhere in you there's a scene playing on a loop. The day they find out, the meeting where you're revealed, the moment someone finally says out loud that you don't belong. You're not living in your success. You're standing in it, with your shoulders tensed, waiting for the knock at the door. It's a guest at a party who spends the whole night braced by the exit, certain that any minute now, security is coming to walk them out. And once you see all of this, that the imposter feeling isn't a report on your ability, but an old alarm about your worth, everything changes. Because you don't argue an alarm into silence with more achievements. You quiet it by finally separating who you are from what you produce. So here's how to actually start. This week, tip 1. Collect the evidence you keep throwing away. Your brain refuses to file the proof, so file it somewhere your brain can't delete. Start what I call a done file, a note on your phone, and every time something goes right, every compliment, every win, every problem you solved, write it down. In their words, not yours. When the fraud feeling hits, you read it back. You're not trying to feel confident. You're just building an external record that the feeling can't reach in and erase. Over time, you're teaching your brain to trust the paperwork again. Tip 2. Say the dangerous sentence out loud. This week, when something goes well, practice taking full credit for exactly one thing. Look at it and say, plainly, I did that, and I did it because I'm capable, not because I got lucky. It will feel arrogant. It will feel like a lie. Say it anyway, because that discomfort you feel is just an old rule being broken. The rule that says you're not allowed to be the reason for your own success. You're not becoming arrogant, you're becoming accurate. Tip 3. Talk about it with one person you trust. The imposter feeling survives on secrecy, on the belief that you're the only one faking it in a room full of people who all belong. So break the secret, carefully, with one safe person, and say the actual words. Sometimes I feel like a fraud here. What happens next is almost always the same. They exhale, and they say, me too. And in that moment, the spell cracks. Because you finally see the truth. The feeling worked so hard to hide that the confident people around you are running the exact same fear behind their exact same smile. Tip 4. Separate your worth from your output on purpose. The root of this isn't a competence problem, it's a worth problem, so aim the medicine there. This week, do something that has no achievement in it at all. Rest without earning it. Receive kindness without repaying it. Exist for an afternoon without producing anything, and notice the discomfort that rises. That discomfort is the old wound talking, the one that says you're only allowed to matter when you perform. Stay in it anyway. You're proving to yourself, in the only language the body believes, that you don't have to keep paying rent. On the right to exist. So think of it like this. Imagine an actor who has played the same role so well for so long that they've forgotten it isn't who they really are. Every night they walk out and deliver the performance flawlessly. And every night they come off stage terrified the audience will realize they're just a person in a costume. But here's what they can't see from inside the role. The skill it takes to perform that well, night after night, is real. It was never the costume carrying the show. It was them, the whole time. Your job isn't to work hard enough to finally deserve the part. It's to take the costume off, look in the mirror, and recognize that the talented, capable person underneath was who they were applauding all along. So the next time someone praises you, and that cold little wave moves through your chest, and the voice whispers if they only knew, don't believe it, and don't panic. Recognize what's really happening. An old alarm about your worth just fired, dressed up as a fact about your skill. Name it, read your evidence, and gently remind that scared, over-prepared part of you that it was never a fraud. It was just a person who learned too young that being enough was something you had to keep proving, and it's allowed, at last, to stop. Before you go, I'm genuinely curious. When does the imposter feeling hit you the hardest? In what room, in what moment does that voice get loudest? Tell me in the comments. Someone reading this feels like the only fraud in their whole field, and it helps more than you know to discover they're surrounded by people who feel exactly the same. If any part of this made you feel a little more understood, leave a like so it reaches more people who need it, and subscribe, because every week we take one of these quiet human struggles and make it make sense.
I'm Sage. Take care of yourself. And remember, you belong here more than you think.